Hey, hello everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. As the population in southern Nevada continues to grow, so does the need for more water. Residents want answers and local leaders are working to find solutions. Joining us with more on this important issue and much more in Ward 6 is the councilwoman who represents Ward 6, of course. It's our very own Nancy Brune. Welcome back to the program. How are you?
Great, David. Good to be back.
Good to see you again. We have got a great show, a couple of great guests coming up. It's hard to believe we are well into 2024 all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Spring is here.
and we're at the end of March.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're off and running. But we've got an important topic today. We're going to talk about water. And Councilwoman, before we get to that, you represent Ward 6. We'll tell everybody out there, if you're not exactly sure where Ward 6 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you on the map. It's basically the northwest area of the valley. If you live in that area or work in that area, of course, you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident out there, you are represented on the city council by Nancy Brune. And our topic today, very important, especially to people that live out in the northwest, because there's a lot of growth going on out in your neck of the woods. So, Councilwoman, we want to tell everybody out there, the city of Las Vegas is working to keep water flowing into our homes and then back into our main water source, which is Lake Mead. We're taking a deep dive, if you'll excuse the pun, into the issue with Councilwoman Brune, with two special guests, as I said. Joining us today is the director, not the deputy director anymore. She is the director of our Public Works Department for the City of Las Vegas, Joey Paskey. And then we also have with us the deputy general manager of the Southern Nevada Water Authority and Las Vegas Valley Water District, Doa Ross. Doa, welcome to the program as well. Councilwoman, it's such a great opportunity to have Joey and Doa here because of the symbiotic relationship that both our agencies have. The water comes out of the lake and then it is returned to the lake after it circulates through our system here. And that is a vitally important issue as we move into the future. It's like a bank account where you're going to withdraw money, but then you're going to also make deposits. And that ability to do that is vital to us here.
Yeah, well, it's something that the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been working on for many, many years. So Joe is best positioned to talk about that. I just wanted to share that, we did talk about water the last
program.
And I had a couple of neighbors last week ask me about water. So I said, make sure to watch Las Vegas.
Thank you so much.
City Council Access. But we also realized in that conversation that water is such a big topic. We didn't even start talking about wastewater, which
we did not.
I really wanted to do a deep dive in today. Because as we grow, we have to think about where does all that stuff that we're flushing down our toilets
Exactly.
go?
And we had John Ensminger on the program, the general manager of the Southern Nevada Water Authority last time around. We talked about the need for conservation and all of that. But to the Councilwoman's point, Doa, that symbiotic relationship between what comes out of the lake and then, Joey, what goes back into the lake is vitally important. I think people may or may not understand the concept of return flow credit, how that works, and how the two of you and our agencies need to work so closely together. Doa, can you explain real quickly for those that may not know, maybe they're new to the Valley?
Sure.
What is this whole concept of return flow credit? How does it work and why is it so important to us here?
Yeah, well, it's absolutely critical for Southern Nevada because truly we have such a small amount of water that we're allowed to take out permanently from the Colorado River. And our ability to continue to sustain our current demands as well as future demands really depends on that return flow credit. So what happens is every gallon of water that we are able to treat at the wastewater treatment plants to near drinking water standards gets returned to the Las Vegas Wash, which is Mother Nature's kidney, and filters it even further, and then it heads back out to Lake Mead. And then in the future, every single gallon that gets returned that way, we are allowed to take another gallon of water out of the lake without counting against our allotment. So return flow credits is truly important. For example, last year, this community, all of Southern Nevada, needed over 435,000 acre feet of water, but our allotment, our legal allotment's only 300,000. And actually the amount that permanently came out of the lake was just over 188,000 acre feet. So the difference is actual return flow credits, and that's beautiful to Southern Nevada.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. I don't know, maybe either one of you can jump in on this. Do any other communities along the Colorado River have the ability to do the return flow credit like we do here?
No. As a matter of fact, we're the only ones within the basin that take the water out of the lake and out of the river and put it back. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have yet to find another community, even within the United States, that does what we do. And part of it is because of the way that we have geology and everything kind of lined up. All the water that we use is higher elevation from where the treatment plants are, and then return the sewage back that way. And with the Las Vegas wash being such a critical part of it, it really is a beautiful system that works for Southern Nevada. And there's a lot of communities that look at us and really envy what we have.
Yeah, for sure. That's an amazing thing to be able to do. Now, Joey, I want to jump over to you. Some people may think it's kind of counterintuitive. It's like you're telling me that water that comes from my shower, goes down my sink, it comes from my bathroom, is going to end up going back into Lake Mead. But we've got an amazing facility, our wastewater treatment plant. We call it the Water Pollution Control Facility. WPCF, if you're in the know here at the city, has an amazing track record of being able to return that water safely to the lake.
So what you might not know because you don't see it is that we have an amazing sewer collection system that does just that. So we have over 1,800 miles of sanitary sewer line that run all of the sewage to the wastewater treatment plant. We have another 500 miles of storm drain conveyance system to get it all.
And Joey,
there.
those are separate systems.
Those are
right?
separate systems, absolutely, yeah. The storm drain goes directly into the wash, and where wastewater goes to our treatment plant and gets treated and then returned directly to the wash. And we are required by the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, to return the water at certain thresholds. And as Doa said, we return near drinking water quality back to it. But we have a permit that we need to do, that we commit to. And we have met that permit for the last 24 years without ever missing it. So we're hoping really for year 25 this year, and that's a really big deal.
Did you hear that, everyone? 24 years with no blemishes on our record.
No permit violations.
That's amazing.
I actually toured the facility. It's so amazing. And like, you don't even smell. I mean, they just do an amazing job. And it's actually a really small facility compared to like all the work that it's doing. So
Exactly.
It's a tour I highly recommend, believe it or not.
And it's so vital because, again, it connects that circle of the water coming out and then going back into the lake. Councilwoman, you're seeing a lot of growth out in your area, and I know water is a question at every opportunity people meet with you. You mentioned it earlier. Water is on the top of people's minds, and I think we're trying to reassure them that there's, with the help of people like Doa and Joey, we're going to make sure that we have water to last us into the future.
Yeah, and I think, again, it speaks to the amazing conservation measures and efforts that Southern Nevada Water Authority has undertaken. And I know one of them that is relevant to Ward 6 because I think about a third of the homes with septic live in or sort of located out in the areas where we have our big rural horse properties. And so I know that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you is if you could just share a little bit about the septic to sewer conversion program and how it will help this whole sort of symbiotic relationship and if there's any sort of support available to homes that may want to explore this.
Yeah, absolutely. For Southern Nevada Water Authority, any water that doesn't make it back to the wastewater collection system is lost to us forever. So it's lost to this entire community.
So basically water outside the house, irrigation, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. But what a lot of people don't realize is a septic system is not connected. So if somebody receives water from the Colorado River, from the Las Vegas Valley Water District, for example, and they use their water in their house, that water that gets flushed down the toilet or through the shower ends up into a septic tank and then leaches back into the ground. Now, it makes it into the ground, but it's not part of our return flow credit. So we lose that gallon lost forever. So it is a small subset of our conservation goals, but yes, we went back through, proposed some language within the last legislative session to stand up basically a program that will help fund this. Now, septic systems by nature, by their initial permit, are temporary. And they're really only meant to be until sewage or a collection system comes along and is available for connection.
And this connection reaches them, right?
Exactly. And so our goal is, over time, through the last couple decades, the sewer system has extended, be it a developer that had to extend a main or the sewer agency did. Either way, sewers become available, and we want to be able to allow those customers to connect. And so we've stood up 2 different paths. You have one of 2 options. If you are, say, for example, wanting to build your big garage or your casita, and you want to get rid of that septic tank now because it's in the way, We have one pathway that you can sign up with us, and we'll fund that 85% right away.
Wow.
And that's through
That's a great support.
yeah, and that's through some money that we've put aside, and also through what the septic customers will be able to voluntarily pay into through the health district. The other pathway is if you say, I don't want to pay any of it and I have time to wait, we've obtained a lot of money through grants, and that is 100% funded. And we have that design contract actually coming up very quickly.
Really, 100% funded?
100% funded.
Because it would be expensive, I think, wouldn't it, to connect to
It depends on the property and depends on where you are.
and how far the line would extend, et cetera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So some people have their septic tank actually in the front yard or in the backyard. It all depends on where the sewer is too compared to them.
Gotcha.
And then of course what the obstructions might be. But so far we have over 150, actually we have over 200 applications in the queue at the moment.
That many, wow.
Yeah, and we've already done a handful of conversions. There are a bunch that are currently in one phase of the project at the moment. I think our biggest challenge is trying to find contractors who are willing to bid doing this. And so
How many people are we talking about, Doa, out there? How many properties have the potential to connect into our system?
within all of the Clark County, within our basin, so never mind what's outside of the basin, when you start getting into like Logandale or anything like that, anything within our basin, there's about a little over 14,000 properties
my
that have
goodness.
septic systems today. And from speaking with the sewer agencies, with proximity of sewer mains to those properties, almost half of them have sewer within 100 feet of the property. So we really do have a good goal. Now granted, not all of the water is captured, because if they're using part of it outdoors,
Sure.
it's lost just as anything else would be. But every single toilet flush or shower taken or dishwasher run, all those gallons that we could capture and send back through the fantastic treatment plants and of our sewer partners is another gallon we're able to save for this community.
Well, Doa, on that note, I didn't realize there was that many people who had the potential to connect to our system. And Joey, that brings me to you. That's a lot of people that we're going to add to the system. How are we going to keep up with the capacity on that?
So we have a very robust capital improvement program funded by our Sanitation Enterprise Fund that is going to be really critical to us making sure that we can keep up with the demand. Because in addition to the potential for the septic tank conversions is also the potential for 34,000 equivalent residential units. Much in the Kyle Canyon Gateway area in Ward 6,
Same area.
and also
Councilwoman's area.
in Summerlin West, which are the last couple areas that are vacant within the city of Las Vegas. And so we really need to make sure that we are on top of the projects so that we can accommodate this new growth. Otherwise, it could lead to something as dire as not being able to issue building permits because we can't risk a sewer overflow.
Yeah, not a good thing.
No,
Not a good thing.
That would definitely violate our permit.
Yes, that would violate the permit and be a real problem. Joey, how do we fund, go into a little bit of how do we fund these capital projects that'll help us keep up? Is it just all through rates, or how does this work?
It's a combination of things, but it is primarily through rates. So your service fee, which is essentially the fee that the system users pay annually to use the system. The lion's share of it comes through that. There are also some non-operating revenue sources. One, we get $8 million annually from SNWA's infrastructure, so it's another great way that we work together. And then there's another large chunk of money that comes from connection fees. So when a new development comes and you pay a one-time connection fees, usually the developers will pay this, so it connects you to the system.
And Doa, you're saying that the connection fees, those fees, would be covered by the program that you have now.
Yes.
Talk a little bit. If people are like, okay, I'm on a septic system, have you reached out to them directly, or how are you getting the word to them that these programs are available?
So when we were first obviously going through the legislative session, we were having a couple open workshops. To whomever would listen, we would talk to everybody about it, just basically letting people know. Before we had any sort of financial program in place, it stood that it was 100% on the septic customer's responsibility to pay for that conversion when they're required to. So this gives them that financial help. We let the community, as much as we possibly could, get out there to let them know about this opportunity. We have it on our website as well.
You mentioned that there's a backlog. So if someone wanted to convert now, like what is the average wait time?
So if they want to convert now and they're not waiting for the fully funded one, because that one is grant money, requires it going through a whole public bid process, and we have to do prevailing wage and the whole thing. So that's why it's us doing a design, us having a contractor, and then we will bundle them in pieces. That's going to take a little more time just because it takes longer to go through a public project.
Is that like a 12 or 15-month process, do you think? Or?
Well, we're expecting that the professional services agreement for the design engineer will come along probably in May or June at our board meeting, and then just a couple months after that, we will be able to go to a contractor. And it's basically, as we have somebody on the list that sewer says we can receive sewer there, check that box, we've got everything done.
Yep.
We hand it to the design engineer, they produce a drawing, we hand it back to the contractor, let them get out there and get going.
That's awesome.
Of course, we want to do economy of scale, so we'll knock on some doors of neighbors and say, we're going to be out here for this customer. Speak now if you'd like to have it done, because we could get it done for a lot less money if we roll out all at the same time in one spot, especially where it comes to pavement replacement. You know, one area of having to replace pavement as opposed to doing several multiple level cuts.
Well, let us know how we can help, because
for
again,
sure.
like
Absolutely.
a third of the city homes that require that conversion are in Ward 6.
We are pretty excited because there is one community that is about 80 or 100 manufactured homes, and they're all on a very ancient septic system, a community septic system.
All of these homes are? Wow.
All of them are on a septic system, and so they contacted us, and we're going to do them in one full swoop conversion.
Wow.
So that will be great, because we did commit as part of our grant money that we would be able to achieve a minimum number, and that's going to be one rollout, one contractor, and just get it done. So we'll be happy to have that done.
So if a resident is interested, what's the best way to reach you? Is there a number or an email?
Email is just septic2sewer, T-O, septic2sewer@snwa.com. All you have to do is give us an address or a parcel number and a contact number, and somebody will reach out to you. If not the same day, definitely in the next day or two.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
really
you
good.
so much for that.
You guys, we're running low on time here. Joey, anything you'd like to add? Any other message you want to make sure that the viewers out there are aware of as far as the system we're keeping up? I mean, the idea is that we're not going to let them down. I know that's your goal. You've got a wonderful team out there, and regardless of the growth, adding the people from the septic system, we're going to be in a position where we can help them out, make sure that we're always there to take care of the issue.
Yeah, no, I just think mostly we are on top of this. We're looking at this all the time. We're working together to find solutions to this and make sure that we have the infrastructure in place to handle the growth that's coming.
Well, I think that's a challenge too, because people want growth, or they love the new restaurants coming in, but you have to realize the infrastructure has to support it. I know we get frustrated with all the orange cones, but a lot of the times we're working below those orange cones to, rebuild or repurpose the septic or the sewer system, so that we don't get, flooded toilets or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we're just about out of time. Anything you'd like to add to final word?
No, I think I appreciate everybody, especially, the city has been a great partner with us. Even people don't realize a lot of times they may see orange cones, but between the city and the Las Vegas Valley Water District, we participate in projects together so that we only tear up the road once.
Exactly.
And
you
we've done
work with
this
the other
so many
utilities
times.
as well. Exactly.
Yes.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the
Lots
partnership.
of collaboration going
It sure
on.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Councilwoman, I should also point out, it's a little off topic, but we just had International Women's Day. These are both very accomplished women who were in fields. Generally in the past were considered men's fields.
Yeah.
Engineers, and here they are now.
Yep.
Integral to the success and the future of our community. So kudos to both of you.
Thank you.
And
In STEM fields.
in STEM fields, exactly
Yes.
right. And
We've got a UNLV grad.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And they're both very smart, as you are yourself. So anyway, Doa Ross, thank you so much for being here. Wonderful job explaining everything. Joey, always a pleasure. You're a mainstay on our team here at the city. It's great to have you on the program. Councilwoman, we're going to take a little break here and we'll
Talk about the great events.
Exactly, it sounds good. So again, everyone, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a look ahead at some of the upcoming events that you don't want to miss in Ward 6 right after this.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. Really just all about the money.
Welcome back, everyone. We are talking all things Ward 6 with Councilwoman Nancy Brune. Great to have you on the program. That was a great discussion about water, wastewater, and how it all works together to our future here. You know, as a community, we're really doing well.
We are.
Councilwoman, when I first moved here, we were considered kind of big water wasters. Las Vegas was kind of the poster child for waste, and now here we are. We're considered one of the most water efficient communities in the entire world, which is a real transformation in the years I've been in Las Vegas. So it's really,
Well, I think it speaks to the importance of leadership and will, and when you have those, a combination of those things, you really can move the ball down the field. And under Pat Mulroy and then John Etzminger, we've become global leaders in water conservation.
sure.
So it's a great time to be part of Las Vegas.
we kind of ran short on our discussion, but one of the things we were talking about too is the rates that we charge in the city, both for the water and for the treatment of the water. Very, very reasonable, and
lower than the national average. So
far
we are.
lower,
You
far
may
lower.
want to complain, but we are actually subsidizing most of the bill.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So an important point that we just didn't have a chance to get to. But on to other things. You have some wonderful events coming up that we want to tell
the
people
weather's
about.
getting cooler,
I know. It's very
a good
nice.
time to be outside.
Exactly. Spring is sprung. And speaking of which, you have the family. This is the first event. The Family Spring Fling Pet Day and Classic Car Show. This sounds like a lot of fun. It's out at Floydland Park at Tule Springs. It's going to be on the 30th. That's the Saturday right before Easter.
Yep.
And boy, this sounds like a great event, Councilwoman.
Yeah, well, I guess Ward 6 used to do sort of an Easter spring fling, and we just kind of combined that concept. And then last year we did our own first pet parade, and so we thought, hey, let's just sort of combine all these events and have like bouncy houses for the kids and celebrate spring and Easter and have the pet parade again, as well as some
that
information.
was really successful last year.
Our pet welfare ecosystem's in crisis right now with all these animals needing foster homes, and so what a great way to bring out our rescue partners and have them advertise some of the amazing pets that are available for adoption. And then we also have a classic car show, and Ward 6 is very, we have a lot of old classic car aficionados.
Motorheads out there, exactly.
Yeah, and so Cowboy Christmas is, always very successful with that opportunity to come out and bring your cars, and they've asked for more opportunities to actually show or display their classic cars. So we're hoping to do that as well. So there will literally be something for everyone.
I was going to say,
look at a car. The dads can look at the cars and moms, and the kids can, jump on the bouncy house and look at animals.
Exactly, and folks, to Councilwoman's point, if you're maybe in the neighborhood, in the market, maybe for a new pet, a forever home for a very deserving pet out there. Come out there with that in mind, because they'll have some animals ready to be adopted. Hopefully, a few of them will find some homes. Got some really overcrowding problems. To your point, Councilwoman, in all of our shelters here in town, just the explosion of animals is really alarming, and it's really it's a human problem, because we're the ones
We're
that
not we're not spaying and neutering. I would tell you, I am fostering now. I'm fostering a mother with her 9 puppies.
Oh man.
And so, we now have 10 new homes that we need to find for
that's
this.
right. Every time that happens, right?
So,
Exactly.
So please, if you have a pet, please make sure they're a cat or dog, make sure they're spayed or neutered.
It's the law in the city of Las Vegas, by the way, everyone. Unless you're a breeder of some type, it's against the law to not have them spayed or neutered. So please take care of that, So again, the date for that is going to be Saturday, March 30th, out at Floydland Park at Tule Springs, 10 to 2 are the hours on that. And then, Councilwoman, this is really cool. We have a small business breakfast that's coming up on April 10th. This is from 8:30 to 10 out at the Centennial Hills YMCA, wonderful facility out there. Tell us about this, Councilwoman.
So the idea is to convene small business owners who live in Ward 6, and one of the goals is to actually share information about some of our city programs that support small businesses. We also usually like to have a guest speaker, so folks who attend walk away feeling like they've learned something and haven't wasted an hour and a half. But more importantly, too, it's an opportunity for small businesses to connect with each other. So it's a real networking opportunity. There's no cost to the small business. And we have people, probably 20 people, who have been to every single one, and a lot of sort of new business relationships that have happened because of this. And so for April, we'll be having Guy Hobbs be our guest speaker. He does a lot of our city work, analysis on bonds and economic outlook for both here locally, but also the national economy,
Yeah.
and so he'll be a great speaker.
Great forecaster of where our economy might be headed, what small business needs to be looking out for.
Yeah.
Councilwoman, on this, we ask for people to RSVP, though.
We
if
do,
you
just so
don't
we
mind.
can make
Yeah.
sure we have enough breakfast.
That's right, and
Yeah.
breakfast will be provided out
Yep.
there, everyone. So again, that's going to be April 10th, 8:30 to 10 at Centennial Hills Y. And again, please RSVP. What we'll do is, before the end of the program, we'll tell you how to reach out to Councilwoman's office, so you can just let them know that you're coming. And then last but not least, this is the big kahuna. The Bluegrass Festival, the free Bluegrass Festival, is back on Saturday, April 13th. This thing has just grown and grown over the years and become a huge mainstay.
It has. I think we get like, what, 5,000 to 8,000 people every single year.
Lots of great bands.
Great, yeah, and family friendly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's a great event. One of the, I think, best in Ward 6.
Yeah, and so again,
I'm proud to sponsor that.
That kicks off at 11 o'clock on the 13th, goes till 7 that night. A bunch of bands out there.
Food trucks.
And again, it's a free event. You don't need to buy a ticket or anything. Just come and enjoy. And people do. They just bring a blanket, bring some chairs. It's out there on the grass, and just join in on some great bluegrass music, you know.
And then, David, I'm going to just add on the 11th, after the
Excellent.
small business breakfast, on the 11th, we'll have our monthly bocaditos with Brune. We've had probably 40 people show up every month. So I just want to let people know, again, it's every second Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday out at Centennial Hills.
9 to 11 at our satellite office in Centennial Hills Y.
Folks, those are great meetings because very informal, an opportunity to meet with the councilwoman. What's great, too, is if you live in Ward 6, it's in your neck of the woods. You don't have to come all the way down here to City Hall to talk with her. Yep. And I always say this, you don't have the fear of coming to City Hall to talk to anyone. You're just going to talk to you across the table over a cup of coffee, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, and literally somebody came in today or last week and said, I can only stay 5 minutes. They shared their concern and they went to work. And so
that's
it really
the idea.
is convenient if you live in that area. Yeah. So please do come on by.
So again, that'll be April 11th.
Yes, Thursday.
Thursday, April 11th, out at
9. From 9 to 11.
9 to 11, yeah. And again, just if you have a concern or question, you want to just network with some of your neighbors, a great place to be. So, well, Councilwoman, we're about out of time here. As promised, I want to tell everybody out there, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Brune, you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can also contact her office by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is nbrune@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff, Mateo or Blanca, one of the team will get right back to you on all that. You know, they do a great job. And looking forward to having you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 6. And we'll be getting into the spring, a lot of events going on, so it'll be great to have you.
It's a busy, fun time.
It is. We're getting out of the doldrums of the winter, and it's before we get to the heat of the summer, so it's a good time of the year. So
we'll have our movies in the park starting up again soon.
Yeah, those are always fun. Of course, those are in the evening, everyone, when the weather is nice and cool. So and you always have good movies, too.
Kid-friendly.
And I should mention also, those are also free.
Yes.
So, just no tickets, just come on out and enjoy. So, Councilwoman, always a pleasure to have you on. We'll see you again in the future. And everyone out there, we want to let you know, and thank you for joining us. By the way, our next Access City Council show begins airing on April 11th. We'll sit down with Ward 4 City Councilwoman Frances Allen Polensky. You can also catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And also watch for our QR code in the closing credits of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.